And we are honored today to be joined by Tina Hurley, the founder and executive director of Less Leg, More Heart. Tina, thank you so much for sharing the morning with us. We're excited to have you. Before we talk about your organization, I just would love to hear more about your story.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a perfect place to just get a little comfortable.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, every amputee has a different limb, different leg, different journey. And for me, it's most comfortable to get a little blood flow while I'm talking.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so I'm just going to get comfortable.
Okay, well, I'm so glad that you feel comfortable. And I think we were talking even before we started the show, and we were discussing your perspective on making people feel comfortable in the presence of people who might be different. And you have a really interesting take on, so many of us want to say, you are such an inspiration. And by the way, she is. But what would you say or encourage people to use, kind of the language you would encourage them to use instead of saying you are such an inspiration?
Yeah, you know, it's nice that people acknowledge that we're uphill during our day and we're doing everyday activities, and that it looks so monumental because the everyday person may have a hard time just getting out of bed with both their limbs.
Right.
But sometimes the aftertaste of words like "you're so inspirational for doing everyday activities" makes us feel like we're out of place, or that perhaps the view of that person is that we are less than or incapable. So words of affirmation, instead of things like "you're so inspiring," perhaps just words like "you're a rock star" or "wow, you're such a powerhouse." The aftertaste of those feel better, and they're all still well intended. So there's just little tweaks to language that can be more empowering and less sort of secondarily deflating. And it's not that anyone means poorly, it's just that the language we use is really important.
Well, you are a force. And so let's talk a little bit about how you got here. It was a rare vascular disease, right? Can you talk about your journey and how it started?
Yeah, I was an athlete. You know, I was a collegiate cheerleader and gymnast, and I was, you know, life was by the horns, fittest shape of my life, like, you know, everything that you would want in your 20s. And then it just became hard to walk. And so that course, you know, and I'm skipping through quite a few phases, but it was like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars of medical bills and several years of diagnostic imaging and failed diagnoses to realize that I had this rare vascular entrapment syndrome. It's a bunch of fancy words that mean that the arteries and veins behind my knees are trapped. And so the outcome of that is recurrent surgeries, and if those fail, limb loss for life gain, which is a wild concept. So 14 surgeries in total, left leg, still don't have great blood flow, and no surgeries yet on the right, just out of choice.
Sure. And eventually?
Yeah, it's a bilaterally symmetrical condition, and so you would think that the outcome is the same on the right, but we're in a holding pattern where I'm stably unstable, and I have a beautiful 4-year-old boy and a budding, amazing nonprofit, and I'm just sort of pouring my love and focus into those things and letting life unfold the way that it should.
And so let's talk a little bit about when you realized that there was a gap in support and services for people who have to have a leg amputated or who are new amputees. You lived for so long with 2 legs, and then you had to learn a whole new world.
Yeah.
And did you have any support?
Yeah, there's so many things that make me think of responses to that. It's such a loaded question, but I will say at 32 years old, when they removed my leg, I was as prepared as you could be. I knew I was losing my leg. For 6 months prior, I had a date on the books, and I marched toward that date with as much assurance as I could have that this was the next right step. But nothing prepared me to wake up with the sheet flat where my foot was for 32 years. And the subsequent negative outcomes that I had, the impact on my social life, my marriage failed, I couldn't do my job. I was ironically amputating legs for a living as a vascular surgery physician associate. So I was making amputees every day. But those people were comorbid geriatric people that were not in alignment with the way that my life was. And so I felt so isolated. I certainly had so much trauma, and it tore divisions between me and my close family, my husband at the time, and it really was destructive. And you know, as a clinician, you don't get the help, you don't seek the help that you probably should get, and I should have sooner. But there were so many financial, emotional, social, medical, emotional challenges that I faced. And I was an affluent, 6-figure earner, subject matter expert in the thing. I should have done so good, and I didn't. I suffered. And so in the wake of all of that, and in the healing that came in the stages after, which was quite a ride, I had to figure out, like, what is next? Do I go back to being a PA and making amputees, or do I take a stab at some solutions that now, with the lenses that I have and seeing the challenges that the system has and the affordability challenges with living with a disability and all of the other avenues that need support, maybe I take a stab at those solutions, and I was just crazy enough to do it.
And you did it. And now you are the founder of Less Leg, More Heart. What is the mission?
Yeah, the mission is broad and intentionally vague. We provide support supplies and services that improve quality of life for amputees. That can be mentorship, education, advocacy, resources, funding for any holistic good or service that improves quality of life, or funding for home modifications. And we customize all of it. So we can say, if you lost a leg today, whatever needs you have in the realm of your medical, emotional, physical life, we'll provide you that support and touch point at 1, 3, 6, and 12 months that year. So we are an ongoing support of customized holistic care.
And you connect people with the support they need. But we do want to talk, and we don't have a whole bunch of time left, but please tell us about your upcoming event that people can get involved in.
Yeah, thank you. Part of our fundraising is that we host community events, and our next and last one for the year is our gala. It's happening on November 1st at the Castleton. It's a beautiful 1920s themed evening. Anyone that's around that would like to come, it supports amputees and their recovery. We'd love to see folks in the community.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for spending the morning with us. You are a force and a rock star. I am so pleased to have been able to get to know you this morning. Thank you for the work you do and for your courage to continue helping other people along their journey. And if you want to get involved, because I know after that conversation, many of our viewers will be getting involved with Less Leg, More Heart, and all you need to do is log on to lesslegmoreheart.com.